Hello everybody, I'm Allie from Totaro. Welcome back to the Tarot Corner. Wow, it has been half of a year since I have been on here. I don't really consider that unusual for me. You know, I post when and where I want to. That's part of my charm. But I'm feeling inspired today. I'm feeling like it's time to catch up with my friends. So let's start with a little life update and then we'll move on into the cards. But before we do any of that, let's take a sip of our water, shall we? Do you have some? Have you had enough water today? Why don't you go get a little refill real quick? I'll wait. Go ahead. You're back. Good job. Sweet. Okay. Let's dive in. So, last time we hung out, I talked about the no pressure planner and envelope system that I had. That's gone by the wayside. Are you shocked? Probably not. Those envelopes are now empty over here at my feet. And that's okay. That is okay. I have decided that maybe even that isn't for me. I am coming to realize more and more that I really, when I say low pressure or no pressure, I genuinely mean 0.000% pressure. And that's it. I read when I want to. I read for what I want to. I post however often I want to. And I genuinely really appreciate you being here. So thank you. All of that to say though, I've just realized that sticking myself into any rigid schedule, even if it's once a month, is even too much for me. And that's okay to admit that. It's okay to be honest with myself and say my practice can be what it is. And it's still a valuable tool to me. I don't have to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak, when it comes to creating content or posting things or even utilizing all of these beautiful decks that I have come to collect over the years. I just do what I do, and that's okay. I am exactly who I am. And yeah, so no planner systems, no journal system really, no envelope systems. I'm just here. So that's the update on that. It's nowhere. In April, we got engaged. So that was very exciting. He picked out a beautiful black sapphire and white sapphires, and I'm in love. He did so good. So that is the big event of the year. The very next month, in May, I started a new job. So I'm still working as a nurse in surgery, but I moved hospitals and my schedule is different. So instead of working 3 12-hour shifts from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., I'm now working 5 8-hour shifts. So I'm now working Monday through Friday from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. So that means a lot more time at home in the evenings, which is delightful for keeping caught up on chores, hanging out and having dinner together, running errands, doing all the things that I've missed out on half the week when I was too busy resting on my days off to really be present. So it's been a really great change. I love my new coworkers. I miss my old ones, but I love my new coworkers, and it's just great. So that's really exciting. One big downer that we've had, we found out that Coda, our older boy, he's 9 now. It's really hard for me to acknowledge. He is still baby to me. He will always be baby. He will always be puppy. But he's getting older now. And we discovered that he had a little heart murmur, and we were referred to a dog cardiologist, and they diagnosed him with some mitral valve disease, which is one of the valves of his heart isn't working properly. It's kind of breaking down a little bit, and so his heart isn't quite doing what it needs to do. Chihuahuas and small dogs are known for heart problems, but Chihuahuas specifically are known for propensity towards congestive heart failure, or CHF. This medicine, getting him on it and catching the heart murmur when we did, means that this medicine, he's on a medication 2 times a day now. That's been a little bit of a change, but he does so great with it now. But being on those meds will hopefully help his heart not have to work as hard and delay him going into congestive heart failure for at least a long time, if not hopefully for the rest of his life. That's our hope. So we're very lucky to have caught it and to be dealing with it. But that was hard. That's hard to face. We don't have any human children. They are it. Coda and his little brother Cooper. And so that's difficult. But again, we've adjusted, and it just is life. When he hears the little pill cutter, he just comes running. You don't have to call him or ask him to come or anything. He knows what time it is, and he comes and takes his medicine, and he makes it easy. So that's great, but also hard. Let's see, what else? Being July, this will be, here in a couple weeks, the 1-year anniversary of losing my mom. I've come a long way in dealing with my grief, but it still catches up to you. It's one of those things that I will never fully not experience, and that's okay. But that's also a new life changes living with that grief, and it's a big anniversary, and so that's coming up here soon. But yeah, mostly great things. I am feeling very happy. I'm feeling very grounded in who I am. I'm feeling very much settled in where we are at in life right now. There is still a lot more to happen, and I'm very excited to see what does happen the rest of this year. I'm holding on to hope. We all have to cling to hope that things will be good. And that's where we're at. So, life update complete. Now let's talk about, first of all, let's acknowledge a deck that I received from my very good friend Sasha over at Numa Collective. She so graciously sent me a prototype copy of her new Oracle deck, The Long Way Home. It did not come in this bag. This is just one of my bags. Sasha has genuinely become one of my dear tarot friends. I love checking in with her and seeing how she's doing just as a person. I love being a part of her creative process. I kind of helped do I reached out to her to help with doing a little bit of the editing for her guidebook for When Olga Speaks, because I was just so behind her work and so much of a fan of her, and I just wanted it to succeed, and I wanted to offer help in any way. And she graciously accepted and said, absolutely, please double check my things. I would love for some help. And so I, along with some other friends, helped with that project, which was so fun. And then with her new deck, The Long Way Home, she's also kept me up to date on the goings-on of that, and it's releasing soon. It's actually up for pre-order now, which is very exciting. But she sent me a prototype, so I thought I would share that. Now, YouTube is getting pretty strict with nudity, so I'm going to carefully show the cards that do not have nudity, and then the 1 or 2 that do, I'm going to cover it as best I can and hopefully not show anything other than the surrounding art. First of all, these are the backs, and it looks like paved road, old cracked paved road. And the edging is a really delightful, like light buttery yellow. It looks really strongly yellow on camera. It's a little less so in person, but it's gorgeous. This particular prototype is on the same UV coated stock as the official copy of When Olga Speaks. So if you have that deck, that's what this feels like in my hands. She's going to release it both in this cardstock and a rose petal, and I think I'm going to purchase a rose petal for myself so that I can experience both versions. But, oh, this deck. I received it a little while ago, and I have been using it so much. I just haven't felt like filming. And so, Sasha, I'm very sorry that I'm just now presenting my views about this deck. I've posted a couple pictures of it on Instagram and some spreads, but this is really the first time that I'm sharing it with you all. And it's just felt like such a personal deck for me. It brings me to tears every single time I use it in the best way. This card that we saw, as you saw, was unburdened. I'm not even flipping through as I'm talking, and I'm not talking as I flip through. I can't do both at the same time, clearly. But it just feels like such a deck that it meets you where you are. And it's all about living life as a human and what that experience means. All of the facets that come with being human and experiencing what that means. The cards are obviously collage, as you can tell, and there's a keyword on every card. You can see this one is softened. This deck it makes space for you and it holds you. The same way that When Olga Speaks does, but in a different way. It is truly the counterpart to that deck, in my opinion. And originally when I wanted to share this, I thought I was flipping through them together myself, just and the pairs that came up, I just put them side by side, and the pairs that came up were phenomenal. And I thought, self? And I said, yo, what's good? And I said, we should share this exactly as is. So I didn't touch it for a couple days till I could film. And that's about as long as I lasted. As long as I lasted, because I decided that I could not use this deck for that long to keep it in that order without shuffling it and using it. So just take my word for it. Every single combination that I came up with the two cards together from each deck was a complete powerhouse. I don't know if you're able to read these or not, but this says prune the roots. It's just, gosh. But anyway, like I was saying, it meets you where you are. It's a counterpart, whereas When Olga Speaks, and these are some statements that Sasha's made too, but it truly is the genuine experience. While When Olga Speaks is more about the ending of cycles and death and, ancestral wisdom from those who have gone on. This deck is a breath of life. This deck is aptly named. It is the long way home. It is stopping to take a pause and embrace what it is that you're feeling right now as a person, as a spiritual body, as a being. And it just, as I said, it brings me to tears. Not only is it visually stunning. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my hands are shaky today. Clearly I've not had enough caffeine. But it brings me to tears every time that I read with it, because it's just so loving and accepting, and it holds you, and it presents you with grace. It presents you with compassion. And pulling a card with this and When Olga Speaks together, it's like earthly wisdom from this deck, from The Long Way Home, versus ethereal ancestral wisdom from When Olga Speaks. And they go together as a masterpiece. And while everything that she makes is gorgeous, yeah, I'm getting flabbergasted. This is one of my favorite cards. The sum of all its parts. With the daisies and the tree. She just knocks it out of the park every time. Every time. You can't really put it into words any better than I'm trying and kind of failing But it is something else. I am so incredibly awestruck by this deck. Like, this card right here. I mean, goodness, you know? When I was named Grief, that one came up and immediately I bawled my eyes out. It's just, it's so good. It's so good. There are complete walkthroughs. Actually, I wonder, I don't think I've showed you my favorite card, because I do have a favorite. This being a proto, let me gather, skirt back up, Allie. Where was I even at? Oh no. Oh, this is what happens. Where were we? See, that's what this deck does. It leaves me speechless. Being a prototype, here's the point that I was getting to. Being a prototype, it does not have all the cards that will come in the final deck that you're pre-ordering. I think there will be an additional 10 to 15 was her plan. And this is another one. The Charade of Humanhood. Like, can we just? She's magic. She's magic. That's what she is. There will be more cards in the final deck than are in the prototype, but it is incredible. Oh, okay. This card is the one that every time it comes up, it's an automatic intake of breath. It's that it kind of catches in your throat. That's this card for me. And it is Let Death Be the Soil. Just that fire and that red and all that passion. And the mourning and the grief and the idea that the end of something truly is the beginning of something else, right? You burn entire fields of crops once your season is over so that that charred earth is refreshed for the next year, right? Or the next couple years. You know, you rotate. I'm not a farmer. I'm not in agriculture, but you rotate the soil and you burn it and you give it time to cycle through and it's refreshed. That card always gets me. So, my God, if I haven't made the point, I love this deck. So, that is The Long Way Home, my prototype from Sasha, from Numa Collective. Her pre-order's up in her Instagram bio, and so you should check it out, because I love it, and I love her, and she deserves all the support. Now let's get into the other decks that I'm kind of feeling like for the summer. A lot of them are fiery, or they're bright, they're quick moving. In August, especially late August, I tend to go for decks that feel slower and draw into that kind of sultry, kind of you just want to stop and pause because it's so dang hot and you don't want to move. That kind of energy. And for that, I actually put a deck on the table to show, but it's not quite time yet, so I'm actually not going to show that one. Excuse me, just a little sip. But it is the Slow Tarot. That's a deck I'll be using later in the summer. But first pair has been a deck pair by my good friends, Lisa Pepez and her wife Peggy. And it is the Sassy Dragons Tarot. I have the Not Safe for Work version, and the Unicorn's Journey Tarot. These two combined are the cutest, best pair. It is like the angel and the devil on my shoulders, and I say that in the best way. The Not Safe for Work edition of Peggy's deck, it's like you can hear Peggy's voice saying the things that are written on the cards to you. I won't show it here because there's walkthroughs, and also it's not safe for work. So I'm going to hold off on showing that one. But it's amazing because that's like the dose of, it's the dose of harshness. Well, you know what? I will show it. Whatever. It's my channel. Let's see. Let me get more. Okay. We can show this one. Okay. So these are the backs of the Sassy Dragons. The Safe for Work edition shows a daytime, but the Not Safe is nighttime. And you see you've got these little dragons and a yin-yang symbol. And the sides are also a matte buttery gold. They're very beautiful. Linen cardstock, love it. It's a smaller deck. It's the size of the Pipspeak Tarot, if you have that. Or, yeah, that's pretty, or maybe a Fournier deck is about the size of this. So it's a little bit smaller. Very nice to hold. The art was done by the guys from the Lil Dark Arts, and it fits Peggy perfectly. And you can see every card has on it a meaning that Peggy has kind of assigned to the card. And it's so great. Like this card for the Ace of Pentacles, it says, "Ka-ching, baby." I can hear Peggy's voice saying that. Like, it's great. The Strength card. And it says, "Nothing's a problem when your BFF can rip their face off. Anything's possible when you believe in yourself." Like, it's just, again, it's the cheeky little devil on your shoulder. The Queen of Swords. Sometimes you need to be a mouthy F-bomb. Be direct and transparent in your communication. For the Queen of Swords, I mean, it's perfect, but then it's these cute, adorable little dragons. I can't. I can't. It's so perfect. Here, the King of Wands. Don't take ish from anybody. Like, it's so great. Anyway, so that's the Sassy Dragons. And then combined with Lisa's deck, the Unicorn's Journey Tarot, which is also on the same linen, but hers is standard size, and it is sparkly, and it is pink, and it is every bit of Lisa, as you would imagine. And again, there are walkthroughs of this everywhere, so I won't show the whole thing. But these two in combination is like, it's the perfect melding of two decks that you could tell reflect Lisa and Peggy as a pair. You have this sweet deck, although it's not afraid to tell you things either. I think Lisa did an amazing job. She's so knowledgeable. But this combined with the Sassy Dragons, it really is, you know, okay, so here's your message, but here's a little dose of the kick in the butt that you need, you know, and it's just great. And the art style in both of them is stunning, and they work really well together. It's my little pair. So these are my Lisa and Peggy decks, the Unicorn's Journey Tarot and Sassy Dragons Tarot. And Lisa is currently working on a Kickstarter for the Unicorn's Journey Oracle. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so ready to have an oracle to pair with these two. I can't wait. So that will definitely be one, again, that I support. But pair number one. Moving on. The next deck that I've been using a lot is the Scarab and Dahlia. Now, this deck I've showed a complete walkthrough on my channel, so I'm just going to show a couple cards. But it is divine. This deck feels like summer. It's got beautiful silver gilding. This deck feels like summer. This deck feels like, I said it in the video when I was flipping through, it feels like Spolia adjacent. And I mean that as a compliment. The Spolia has to be one of my favorite decks in my collection. I can't believe that I can say I own a copy. But this definitely is along those lines with the same stunning collage style. Joanna just knocked it out of the park. And it's such a clear reader. And it's just fun to look at. I catch myself shuffling this one just because while I'm watching TV or hanging back here watching TarotTube or whatever the case may be. I definitely love this deck. Anytime I'm just looking at it, it makes me feel happy. So, I love this Three of Cups because I didn't notice at the beginning, but they're reading tarot. Like, that's so cool. So, yeah, if you're a fan of collage, this is a good one. And again, I've got a full walkthrough if you want to go see the whole thing, and I'm sure other people do. So, this deck is definitely online. Joanna's an amazing creator, and I love this deck. Oh, this Queen of Swords gets me every single time. She is captivating. So yeah, that is the Scarab and Dahlia Tarot. The next deck, or actually the next two that I'm going to show you, because I kind of use them together sometimes, sometimes not, is the Serpent Fire Tarot and the Telesma Tarot. Both of these feel very fiery and passionate and intense female energy, and that's kind of what I like in the summertime. But they both kind of achieve the same thing. They're just different physically. The Telesma is obviously way bigger in hand than the Serpent Fire is, but they also do offer something different. So both of them are glorious for what they do. These are the backs. Shiny gold gilding, which, meh, it's not my favorite, but that's okay. The coolest card in this deck, or one of them, has to be this one. With the Empress, Cleopatra. Hello. There's a lot of nudity in this deck, so there's very little that I can probably show you safely. But here's a Judgment card. Like, come on. It's so cool and cosmic and otherworldly. It's just, it's fun to read with. It feels like a walk through the desert with Stevie Nicks playing in the background. Or Fleetwood Mac. Like, it just sings. Every single card that I'm flipping past has nudity. I'm not afraid of nudity in decks, but I like being able to share with you. So we're just not going to show those. But yeah, it's very intense, very passionate, very purposeful energy in this deck, and I love using it a lot. It can be quite intense at sometimes, a lot to take in, a lot for the eyes. And so sometimes it's a little much, but then, I mean, you have Frida Kahlo as the Queen of Cups. Come on. Hello? It's great. And then you have these cobras as the devil. It just doesn't get any better. And look at the Sun card. This right here is like the essence of what I feel like this deck is. It's this. You're in this card. That's what this deck feels like. So that's the Serpent Fire Tarot. Telesma Tarot is a really fun collage deck by Tara Cochran, and she's got a lot to say. I'm not even going to take the full deck out because, again, it's very large. But these are the backs, and this one also has shiny gold gilding. I love collage of any kind. Something about it hits for me because there's so much that you can look at and there's so much that you can pick up on. That's a little intense. There's so much that you can pick up on in a collage. You know, you could see the severed head, you could see her boots, you could see the technology, the cityscape in the background, you can see the wolf down below, you can see this like beautiful architecture with the chandelier. Like, there's so much to pick up on at any given time, and something different may jump out for me with one reading than the next. And so it's incredibly powerful, and it's just fun and funky. This doesn't feel like Fleetwood Mac. This feels I don't even know. What does this feel like? This feels like I don't know. It feels, yeah, I don't know. I'm getting tripped up because I'm just getting lost in this art. It's beautiful. Again, lots of body positivity, which I love, but we don't love for online. But you get the idea. It's bright and it's fun and it's loud and it's in your face and it's busy and it's so freaking cool. This has to be one of my favorite in this deck. It's the Five of Wands. Like, they're on a freaking ferret. Ridiculous. So, that's the Telesma Tarot. Both fiery female bad bee energy. You know what I'm saying? So, love her. The next deck is my good old Desert Illuminations. This one is in a Moonlit Fae bag. It's actually a spread bag, which is amazing. It lays out, well, if I didn't have it upside down, it lays out to be a 3 or 4 card little cloth if you want to use it. But it's also just very protective. The deck obviously slides in the pocket here. This is the second indie version of this deck. So this is on linen stock with no borders. This is the last independent version before it went mass market. And again, this is one that's been seen and shown, but this, it's funky and it's summer and it's New Mexico and it's weird and it's loud, it's bright, it's colorful. It's got aliens, it's got the desert, it's summer. You know, it's summer. Summer. I really like all the oranges and teals in this deck. That just appeals to my brain for some reason. I really want to pick up a copy of the Cowgirls and Aliens Oracle, but I haven't wanted to pull the trigger on that one yet, but eventually I want to. I think it goes well with this because you've got Cowgirls and you've got Aliens in this deck already, so they're kind of a match made in heaven. This one, I will admit, I don't really use for super in-depth or complex readings. This deck is a really great everyday reader. What do I need to know today? How's my day looking? You know, things of that nature. Not necessarily, how can I get from this step into my next step? That's not what this one is for. This one is for fun. In my opinion, and in my experience, it does not mean it can't get deep. I just don't ask that of it. You know? But, yeah. Desert Illuminations. Freaking cool, man. This is a good one to end on. Our little Queen of Cactus, which is the Pentacle suit. So yeah, that's Desert Illuminations. And I'm not going to make you wait for me to put that one all the way back in its wrap. So, stay. The next trio is a trio that is also very popular right now, for good reason. And it is the Peculiar Pathways Tarot, the Coastal Curiosities Oracle, and the Folkloric Forest Tarot. There we go. All three by Lennox Reese. And I am not even borderline. I am fully obsessed with the Folklorist Forest Tarot. These are the incredible backs. So this is a found art deck. Love these green edges. Like, excuse me? This is a found art deck. And it's on this beautiful linen cardstock. And gosh, I just love it. Every single card that you look at, it's a treat for the eyes. It really, really is. And it has a lot to say. This one can get a little harsh. This one does not sugarcoat. This is like the Brady Tarot, but with a little bit less animal life in it. You know, you just gonna lay down there? Okay. What card just fell? Let's see what card we need to read today. Oh. The Eight of Fire. Coming at you quick. Yep, you sure did. Anyway. Yeah, it's reality in a deck. I go to this one when I need honesty. It's not the harshest honesty, but it's not the softest either. And she's doing, like, oh my gosh, look at that. Like, excuse me. Like, look at this world card. It's so beautiful. It's breathtaking. She did such a great job of curating this deck, and every card is incredible. It's hard to see on camera, but it does have the spot gloss around the edge and for the titles, so you can see it in person a lot easier than it's reflecting on camera. And this right here is our Empress card, but it's named the Maiden. And it's delicious. She's working on the entire elemental suite. So this was her earth-based deck, and she's now working on Folklorist Waters, I believe. Is it the name? Did I just misname it? Potentially. But she's working on the water deck. And from the art that she's posted, I cannot wait. I can't wait. There's an image that she posted that is, it's a like a plate of oysters, and when I look at that plate, it's the devil card, I believe is what it is. And looking at that card, I can smell the salt. I can smell the bright red horseradish sauce that is served with oysters. I can taste the zingy lemon that comes with those oysters, and I can feel an ocean breeze. It's like you're sitting in a cafe outside by the ocean at the beach, and you've got this fresh plate of divine seafood, and it's so viscerally sensorial. Nope, that's not right. It's so viscerally sensory driven. There you go. That she immediately, like, I can't wait. As incredible as this is, and my Virgo heart loves this so much, I'm really excited for the water one. And I can only imagine how wonderful the air and fire decks will be, because the swords and wands tend to be my favorite suits in the tarot. So if this is already so incredible, I can't imagine how great the rest will be. Major hit. So that's the Folklorist Forest Tarot. The next is the Oracle, the Coastal Curiosities. This also has been shown a lot. I'll be honest, I'm not totally sure which version I have. I think I have the 4th edition question mark. Oh, this is only the 2nd edition. My bad. But there is a new version out now where it's more stripped back, and it's more of muted browns and beiges. And I cannot remember the name of the version, but it's a little bit more stripped back, I believe, on the artwork. And it's incredible, but this is the version I have. These are the yellow backs, not edged, but it's on linen cardstock, and it's great. If you know this deck, you know. It's such a good reader. It goes really well with her other art decks because, of course, same artist mind. But I honestly find that this oracle can stand on its own, too. It can kind of leave you with a message just by itself. And the guidebook that comes with it is really, really great too. She gives, this is the write-up for a single card. And it's so great. She even, on the 2nd page, she kind of breaks down what you're seeing and why it's there, which is very useful. It's all so intentional, and she does such great work. I live and breathe for Lennox's artwork, really. It's so good. And this is a great summer deck because, again, the word coastal being in the title, right, it lends itself to that kind of vibe, that kind of outside summer on the coast, coastal, starfish. It's just great. It's so great. She's a genius. So that is the Coastal Curiosities Oracle. And then her 2nd to most recent deck that was released before the Folkloric Forest was the Peculiar Pathways. This deck, again, it's a vibe. It's such a vibe. Incredible backs, a nice green edge. So pretty. She does this great combination between black and white objects and then really, really built out backgrounds. Yeah, that's what I want to call it. Built out backgrounds. And the way that she collages, the way that she presents these cards, they're so smart. That's one thing about Lennox, is she's so smart, and everything that she does is just chef's kiss. It's so good. It's so good. So, you know what? No, I'm going to show a couple more. I love this Queen of Wands, my significator card. Look at this Hermit. It's so simple, and yet it says so much. She's a genius. She's brilliant. Can't hype her up enough, truly. I'm a big, I know I said this not 5 minutes ago, but I really am a big collage girly. I'm finding more and more. And when it's done right, and when it's purposeful, it sings. It sings, it communicates. And it's really fascinating because you can collage so many different ways, honestly. Every deck creator, every artist could do something totally different for the same card and bring something totally new to the table. And I think that's really great. So, that's my Linux pile. Next is the Moon Baby Tarot. I'm really not even going to show this one because it's got a couple cards on the box. This is the first edition. I backed it on Kickstarter. And this is a deck by Brant Palazzo. And it's essentially a vintage 70s... It's a copy of the Hoi Polloi Tarot, if you don't know. And it's very funky and summery and bright. And it's a Rider-Waite-Smith, and so it just lends itself to really simple, quick, easy reading, which I love. So that's the Moon Baby Tarot. Okay, 3 more decks. Let's get another sip. How you doing? Sip. Thank you, good job. Okay, next one is the Mike Wilcox Tarot and Oracle. I love this deck because it is also very bright and very fun and funky. Mike Wilcox himself is a very interesting artist, and I love his work. These are the backs. This is the first edition. It's got bright, shiny gilding. The second edition is all packaged differently, and I think the backs look a little bit different, but the cards should be the same. The cool thing about this deck is it is the major arcana from the tarot. It is the 12 signs, and then it is Oracle. It's a total of, I'd have to look it up, but it's so cool because while it is not a full 78 tarot, you still get the overarching archetypical energy from the majors in this deck. Case in point, here we have the Chariot. But then he's got really cool other just oracle cards like the Caverns. And then, you know, going back here we have the Emperor and the Hanged Man. So you can see it's like, it's got I'm just skipping through a couple, sorry. We have the Mountain. So it's got a lot of potential. And the writings in the book are really, really good. So here's another oracle, the 3 doors. So fun. I love this deck. It works well with a lot of other things because it is so colorful, and yet in the nicest way. I mean it as a compliment. It's not overdone. And I think it's just really great. So yeah, here's the Virgo card. So anyway, that's a fun one. It goes really well with a classic Rider-Waite-Smith or like the Moon Baby. Perfect. Funky meets funky, right? Great time. So that's the Mike Wilcox Tarot and Oracle. And like I said, I think this one you can still get, but I think it's a second edition. I don't remember all of the changes that were made. I don't think it comes in the big box that it came with anymore, but I forget what all else changed. But definitely worth the look up. Okay. Last one that I'm going to show is the Terra Volatile. This one is a departure, for sure, from the bright, colorful, kind of funky, crazy vibe that I usually feel this time of year. Those are the backs. This has to be, it's unedged. Why am I showing you non-edged edges? I don't know. But this deck is interesting. While it is a departure from all the bright and colorful stuff that I'm typically feeling over the summer, this is that dose of fine art that I find I also enjoy this time of year. Really wish I could show you this card because it's a card with Kali on it, but I can't. So I shan't. There's also a lot of nudity in this deck because it's a fine art deck, right? So bear that in mind if that's not something you enjoy. But it's on Delicious Linen cardstock. And it is so talkative and chatty. It wants to give you messages. It wants to tell you what's up. And the really great thing about this deck is that the creators not only provided a big expansion pack with all kinds of alternative cards, it provides you with all new pages for all 4 of the suits, and then it gives multiple for numerous cards. I think the death card, there were 4 choices to make overall for which one you wanted to choose. And so it really lets you make the deck your own, and it lets you decide how you want to read it. And I have the big old coffee table book, which is so beautiful to get into. I like that you were given a female fool, too, in this deck. That was one of the choices that I made. But it's incredible. I'm so grateful that I have this one in my collection because it's so good. And this is another one that even if I'm not reading, if I'm not focusing on something particular, I just like looking at it. I just like looking at it and flipping through the cards and enjoying the artwork and giving my eyes that little treat, you know? Really dig this Princess of Swords. Just saying. But it's so great. So, highly, highly recommend. There is a smaller, more portable version of the guidebook, which is wonderful. This is a cut from the Vessel suit, too. The Vessel suit is its entire own suit that was added, and it's more of a spiritual element where you have, you know, the traditional 4 suits with the Wands, Cups, Swords, and Pentacles. They've also got the Vessels in this deck, which is a whole new suit with all new meanings, and it leans more towards the ethereal, spiritual side of things. So if you don't want to use that suit, you don't have to. You can keep it a traditional 78-card tarot deck. But again, it gives you that option to lean more into that, and it makes it its own thing, which is just really, really cool. And a lot of these cards are jungle too, jungle-esque in nature. And so something about that just works for summer for me too. But, so sorry. As I was saying, there is a smaller portable version of the book, which is great because that's easier to kind of access and deal with on a day-to-day basis rather than the big giant book. But I really do recommend the guidebook for this deck just in general because the creators have so much wisdom and so much cool stuff to share that it's just great. Let's end on a fiery card here. So, that's the Tarot Volatile. Okay, well, now that we've been here for nearly an hour, my goodness, time flies when you're having fun. That kind of brings us to our mid-year little catch-up. We did a little life update. We looked at some cards. Again, really cannot overstate the Long Way Home Oracle. Pick it up. If you like oracles, if you like collage, it's so worth it. But all of these decks, in my opinion, are so great. Other than that, just thank you again for catching up with me and for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you're all having a wonderful summer and staying cool. If you're in this northern hemisphere part of the world. And yeah, thank you again for being here. And until next time, who knows when that will be. But in the meantime, bye.